year, every spring, every fall, when we get ready to have our first pads practice, hey, we bring the whole team in, we demonstrate, we video it, the proper way to tackle, and we don't coach head to head. It is a violent game, and from time to time there's always going to be some really tough collisions, but it's just something that's kind of transitioning into the game where guys have got to become much more conscious of their tackling technique. For so many years, people led with their head, and it was just a part of the game. And now, obviously with all the concussions and serious injuries and things like that, they're trying to clean that up. And I think everybody's doing a good job of creating the awareness. I don't think anybody's coaching that. It just sometimes, guys, get caught up in the moment and they forget, and their fundamentals go out the door, and they just want to make a big hit. But it's something that's got to continue to improve. I haven't seen the NFL stuff, so I'm not really sure what you're talking about there. But
on that point, how much of an issue is it of making the hits you see on ESPN are not well-taught fundamentals, grabbing around the legs and stuff like that. It's the blow-up where a guy leaves his feet and explodes on a guy. How much of part of the problem, if it's a problem, is that just the immediate attention to those kind of hits?
Yeah, well, it's part of the problem, but I think it can be part of the solution too, because it can be part of the solution if the NFL or the colleges or the conferences or whatever, take action, because it gets put out there as opposed to just being on somebody's film clip that they send in to complain about. Now all of a sudden it's got national attention. You get exposed and there's fines or suspensions or whatever. That's the only way you're going to really clean it up.
How comfortable are you with your linebackers going up against all the stuff they're going to have to confront against this offense?
Well, we're better now than we were at the beginning of the year. That's for sure. No doubt about it. Quandon has really made good progress. He's had 3 ball games now where he's played pretty good and played a lot of snaps. We feel really confident with Tig in that he's back. We were really encouraged with him Saturday. Carrico's been solid. Little man's been solid. He's never really played against him. So this is really his first experience with Georgia Tech. Very limited. Tig played just about the whole game against them in the championship game, so he's got good experience. Brandon May has obviously good experience, but he's questionable right now. But I feel better about where we are at linebacker. We're still not anywhere where we need to be, but we're better now than we were at the start of the season. And so hopefully the second half of the season we'll continue to show some improvement at linebacker.
When you look back at those 2 games against Georgia Tech last year against the option, what are the 1 or 2 things you feel like you could do better?
Well, just number one, just be disciplined with doing your job. And as I was talking about in the championship game, defensively in the first game now, it'd be hard. They only had 14 3-and-outs all last year, and so we played pretty doggone good, But it was the big play when they, the discipline. Crack, we didn't replace, and it's a 70-yarder. The 2 special teams touchdowns. One of them was, probably shouldn't have happened, but did, and so those are things that you wish you could do better. But I would say overall, just discipline. Offensively, it'd be, the only thing I could point to in our championship game is, we had the 2 picks. Other than that, it was a pretty flawless game, offensively. Heck, we had the player of the game, and we lost. So, I would say number one thing would just be discipline, and both sides of the ball.
You mentioned this earlier.
that long drive they had at the end of the fourth quarter championship. Have you allowed yourself to go back and just look at that again, or do you just look at it in pieces? And how did you just get a helpless feeling that you just couldn't get them off the field?
I was helpless because I couldn't go make a tackle. I wanted to run out there and trip that sucker when he ran down the sideline. But no, I've really seen that all. I watched it. I watched it last year. I watched it in the spring. I've seen it 1,000 times in my mind. I don't have to watch the tape anymore of that to know, what happened. We just, I'm more focused on the great opportunity that we have this Saturday. That's really what it's all about. That's all water under the bridge, and it's all about this opportunity and, trying to have a great Tuesday practice today and different team. They're a different team. We're a different team. Although there's players left over from both of those teams, but it's a different team. And hopefully we can get the result we want. But that is going to be critical. Third down is against they probably go for it more than anybody in the country. If they stay on schedule, with high percentage first down plays, and they can get in really third and manageable, and if they don't get it and it's fourth and short, they go for it. And they're pretty successful in getting 1 or 2 yards. So what we got to do is not let them have those big successful first downs, and then do a great job when we do get them in some third and sevens, those type of things, not letting them get it to 4th and 1, 4th and 2.
Coach, you guys come up on the losing end. Close games the past couple of years, both Georgia Tech games, Auburn this year. Is there anything you see where you can do to sort of get over the hump there?
Just keep growing up, keep getting in position to win. Just keep getting in position to win. We're going to win, and we're going to win at a high level here. We keep doing what we're doing. Just keep coaching, keep playing with the type of mentality that we're playing with, and keep putting ourselves in position. We're gonna break through, and I don't have any doubt about it. And then all of a sudden that becomes contagious, and we're just not there right now. We've lost to 3 teams this year that were preseason top 15, and we're not quite there yet. When we start winning those games, then we'll be where we need to be. But I know where we're going. It's important to know where you started, and I know where we started October 13th. It's important to know where you are, and I know right where we are. But it's also important to know where you're going to be, and I know that too. I can see it, and I just can see it. I know what's coming, and it comes sooner than later. And but Clemson is got a bright future.
Is there such a thing though as learning how to win those games?
Sure.
Or is it just a matter of getting a little bit better all around?
It is. It's about having a commitment, and a mentality of every play is the play that's going to make the difference in winning and losing. A sense of urgency, attention to details. It's recruiting. It's everything. It's everything. It's the off season. It's working so hard that when you get in that position, that you're gonna get it done. You impose your will. That's really what it comes down to. Because when you're playing good teams, it's just a few plays, and we've had our share of tough breaks, but that worm will turn, and it's all about the next game, and just keep on moving. That's all we're trying to do.
A lot of guys get to learn on the job as head coaches at lower levels or mid-major kind of schools like Paul Johnson, Georgia Southern, and Navy. You've learned on the job as a head coach in that role. What are some of the biggest things you've learned, or any philosophical?
Probably the biggest thing. You learn a lot of things. There's a million day-to-day little things that I think that you learn in any job. It doesn't matter if you're at Georgia Southern or at Clemson. You want to win. The scoreboard's the same. Football is football. Managing people is managing people. Those are all the same. Yeah, you got a few other things that you may deal with at Clemson, but I can assure you it's just as important to those people at Georgia Southern to win as it is here at Clemson. It's all about whatever program you're in. And I don't think that there's, to be honest with you, that much difference other than the national pressures or expectations, that kind of stuff. It wouldn't matter where I was, I would be learning the same. The pressures would be the same because my expectations for myself wouldn't be any different. Wouldn't matter what job I had. But for me, it's just being a head coach. It's all about managing people. That's really creating the morale that you want, your processes that you believe in. In everything from a program standpoint. And I've learned a lot in 2 years as far as just day-to-day operations. And I've also had a lot of things confirmed, things that I truly believe in that I know are right. And sometimes you may lose confidence in something, but I know the things that are core principles of what I believe in, and I've just had those things confirmed, really, to be honest with you, more than anything else. It's all about your people. It's all about your people. It's all about the people you surround yourself with. It's all about recruiting, and we've put a great emphasis in both of those areas in order to be able to have a good staff, a good support staff, and to have great recruiting. And if you can keep those things in good shape, then you got a good chance to be successful.
Do you think because you don't have a track record like some other coaches that people give you you have a smaller margin for error?
I don't really think much about that, to be honest with you. People are going to think what they want to think. You make 1,000 decisions every day. That's one thing I've learned. 1,000 decisions every day, and a bunch of people are going to love them, a bunch of people are going to hate them. Some really don't care. So that ain't ever going to change, and it's not going to matter where I am or how much experience I have. It really is not going to matter. I could be Steve Spurrier or Dabo Swinney. Steve Spurrier's won a gajillion games, and he's been a very successful coach, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that hate every decision he makes. There's probably a lot of people that love every decision he makes. Or you can be somebody who's a nobody from Pelham, Alabama, and I'm just fine with that. I'm very comfortable in my own skin, and I just don't really sit around and think about all that. I'm just too busy working and trying to be successful to sit around and worry about what other people may or may not think about me. All I know is, every great coach started somewhere, and there's a lot. Some people. I think there's a lot of good coaches out there that would be great head coaches that haven't got the opportunity, and the good Lord's blessed me with an opportunity. I really believe that. I really believe the good Lord said, hey, this is where you're going to be. This is where I want you. And so I take confidence in that. And when things aren't going good, I just remind myself that, hey, I'm here because I'm supposed to be here. And the good Lord wouldn't put any more on me than he knew I could handle. So I take confidence in that, and I just try to be who I've always been. I don't try to change, try to be something that I'm not. I know we're going to be successful. And I know I'm going to be successful, and I hope that would you say the time or whatever? I hope Clemson will hang in there with me. I hope they'll hang in there, because we're going to get it done, and we're going to win. It's going to be a lot of fun. So don't really worry anything else other than that. Think anything about it. There's a lot, there's a lot of. Like sometimes people say, well, you were never a coordinator. Well,